Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is just me and you today, and you're on the move with yours truly, JoAnna Ward. And today we're going to do a workout combination where I'm going to show you guys some things that you can do on this box, standing and sitting, abs, arms, and legs. And so we're going to start off with a basic warm-up, this rhythmic to some great music that is complimentary from my good friend Chris Mack, Orangeburg, South Carolina State Bulldogs in the house. We're gonna start with a basic side-to-side step. Just to get you moving, get the blood flowing. You start side to side. Now, if you don't have a step, you can use a table or a chair that's sturdy, or you can use your curve, okay? If you're outside. But if you wanna get one of these, go to our website at JoAnnaWardFitness.com. Let's cross it up here. Loosen it up. Now we're gonna take it side to side. Breathe, 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 breathe into your nose and out through your mouth. Four more. Three, we're going down. Two. Last one up top. Take it right and left. Breathe, breathe. 4, 3, 2, last one, side to side here. 4 more singles, 3, 2, and double. Double. Having fun yet? This will be a form of dancing. The bottom line is you have to move a little before you begin to move a lot, okay? You have to gradually train your muscles and your cardiorespiratory system so that you can engage in a more intense workout, but you have to start where you are. I think the most devastating thing that we can do is nothing and then try for a really, really hard workout. Let's start basic, okay? I'm gonna do a new lift here and the elbow to knee. Four more. 3, 2, and this is gonna be my last one. And I'm gonna stretch here. And I'm gonna reverse that stretch here. Perfect. I'm going to come wide. Take it down center first. If you have a box, you can come here low if you can't go to the floor, but the goal is the floor. Let's take it over to the left. And let's walk it back to the right. Good job. Take it back to the center one more time. We're gonna come up here, arch, press, arch, press, arch, and press. Roll back right, roll back left, both arms. Roll and press, in and out. We're gonna take it up here, stretching. Switch arms. Awesome sauce. So we're gonna start here. And yours does not have to be this high, but this is just where I like it for an overall workbench. You can actually start this much lower with just the base, but I'm gonna start it with 6 risers because that's where I'm gonna work from when I start doing my abs and other exercises, okay? And all I'm gonna do is lift not from the knee, but I'm gonna lift from the hips, okay? And I'm just gonna come up like so, real soft. And then I'm gonna allow it, not bang down, but lower down using the quads. Again, I'm lifting from here and back down. Nice and tight, and down. And I'm gonna go do 10 more here. Breathing. 6, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, nice and tight, 2, and this is gonna be our last one. And we're breathing, we're gonna switch. Left up now, same 15. 4, 3, 2, 11. Nice and soft. 10, 9, 8, 7. How you guys doing? 6, I'm still accepting pen pass at JoAnnaWorkFitness.com. 5 more. 3, 2. It's gonna be our last one. And I'm gonna stay up here for this one. Again, yours does not have to be this high. You can go down to 2 to 4 on each side, or to 6 on each side, like I'm doing right now. Still sculpting and toning here, hips, thighs, legs. Also working my cardio, strengthening and toning, using my own weight as weight. So I'm gonna come down here like so, and I'm gonna lift up tall, elbow to knee, lift up tall, elbow to knee. Up. Real simple stuff. Simple, sensible, sustainable. How long do you plan to do it? You need to think about that when you're doing supplements and drastic, radical, unnatural things. Not just to your body to get fit, but some of the manipulations that people do to their bodies to make it look a certain way. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. If you're watching the station, you probably have heard that. But in all actuality, that means you were made complete just the way you are. Maybe your diet or lack of exercise has altered that a little bit, but you can fix that. But once you start cutting and contouring and manipulating your hair and your eyelashes and your eyebrows and certain body parts, you're losing who you are. Let's do 5 more of these. Own who you are. Ask God to give you confidence in the skin that you're in, because that's the skin you have. No matter how many times you bleach it, change it, tan it, whatever. You are who you are. Accept that now and early, or life is gonna be pretty challenging for you, because you're gonna be with yourself for the rest of your life. Awesome sauce. If you did all this with me, you are on the move. Now we're gonna grab the mat. We're gonna turn this into a work bench, a workout bench. And so I'm doing this because these are rigid, and part of this rigidness on these steps is to keep your foot from slipping. And while it's great for your feet and tennis shoes, it's really hard on your hands. And so I always try to use a mat. And so what I'm gonna do is gonna be from here. I'm gonna take a pose here, like so, and I'm gonna hold that. And I'm gonna come up and push up and back, down and push up, feet back. I'm gonna do 5 more on each side. All right, and I'm gonna stay here. Now by now your arms should be burning. And we're gonna jack it here, or what I call a flat jack. 5 more. Now, while that may have looked like a leg workout, that was all arms. All arms, all arms, all arms. And so they're actually burning right now. So now we're gonna have a seat on that box. And so one of the things I wanted to show you guys is I have the weights here and they're between my legs. So that's causing me to squeeze my inner thighs to tighten those inner thigh muscles. And I'm on the edge of this bench. I'm gonna lean back here and I'm gonna lift. This is gonna work this little pudge here and the lower abs. Whatever weight size you want, or no weights will be fine, but I'm gonna use weights, and this is 10 pounds with both of these weights. So I'm gonna lift and tap my toes. Five more. 4 to pulse. 1 more. And we're gonna pulse right here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's that exercise. And then the other part that we wanna do on the bench, I'm gonna slide down for this. If you notice, my feet are on the floor. So you wanna always make sure that you have enough depth in the base of the bench so that your feet aren't hanging on the floor, but your feet are firmly planted on the floor. So we can come here. We're gonna do a combination of our body and knees. We're gonna lift here. Five more. Awesome sauce. The next one we're gonna do is we're gonna curl here on the right and on the left. Right and left. Right and left. You guys keep curling. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna go clean up all this well-earned sweat, and we have a sweet, sweet message for your soul after this break. Get some water and get a pen, and we'll be right back. Well, look at you coming all back after that workout. I was drenched, so I had to completely change everything and come back with a word. And I want to share a word with you. I'm going to use myself, but I hope you see yourself as well. And I want to talk to you about your gifts and how they differ from your profession and even your education. As a child, my mother often said that I ran back and forth from one end of the house to the other, just for hours at a time. And she said she didn't see anything weird about it, but she just took note of it. And I would go back and forth, just running. She said, touch one end of the door into the other until it just exhausted myself. And so I'm talking about that because people ask me, how did you get where you are? How did you become a business owner? How did you become a television talk show host? How did you become an athlete? And all these different things. And I had to start pondering that. And I realized that my education did not give me the majority of the opportunities that I have gotten. It wasn't because I was so intelligent, and it wasn't because people liked me all the time. It has a lot to do with the gifts that God gave me. In Proverbs 18:16, it says that your gifts will make room for you and set you before great men. And as you ponder that, I would like you to think about, what is it that God gave you that's exclusive and unique to you? We're often taught to go into patterns and go into professions and go back and forth based on what people approve of us. But There is a gift that God gave you that belongs exclusively to you, and you probably were able to identify it, or your parents were probably able to identify it from the womb. And oftentimes we just dismiss these things as not being important. So let's go from that running girl that's 2 years old, running back and forth from the house, and let's go to elementary school field day. No, I wasn't the best student at all. As a matter of fact, I got in a lot of trouble in elementary school. I bet you didn't know that. And my mother was called a lot. But when it came to field day, that was my day. I could outrun everybody, outjump everybody. It was the day where I still, to this day, at my current age in 2019, I have ribbons, first place ribbons from field day. That goes back to my athleticism, the legs that God gave me. They're very big, they're very strong, and they've always been big, ever since I was a baby. But no one ever looked at me and said, hey, that's a part of your gift. That gift that God gave you in your legs and your ability to run for a long time is gonna make room for you. Being first place and beating everybody on field day, that's gonna make room for you. They didn't know. You can't only tell someone what you know. Let's move forward to middle school, where I have seen Cyndi Lauper and other musicians on television, music videos, and so I want to be just like them. I'm a valley girl, I'm cutting my hair, I'm putting on eyeliner, I'm fluffing my hair up because I want to be like who I see on television, because I don't know who I am, and I have not identified my gifts, and neither has anyone else. But through the process of middle school, I run into a basketball coach who recognizes nothing but my height, and at the time, in 8th grade, I was 5 feet 8 inches tall, taller than most of my male teachers. And he gave me a proposal. He said, why don't you come out and try out for basketball? And I said, me? Basketball? No, I'm a valley girl. I'm a cute girl. That's not for me. He said, if you come out and you try, this seed that he sowed did not come from my household. It didn't come from my cousins or my aunts or my uncles. It came from a coach who saw me walking down the hall in middle school in 8th grade and challenged me to come and try to play basketball. And the reason that I went was because he said, if you don't like it, you don't ever have to come back. If you like it, stay. Well, I didn't like it. I loved it. I loved the way that I felt when I did it. I loved the way it brought back that 2-year-old runner. It brought back that field day in me. And it was a natural, peaceful, prosperous. It was nothing that I was coached to do. I just was good at it. I was good at running the basketball court. I was good at rebounding. I became good at shooting, so much so that from middle school, I went and started on the varsity team in the 9th grade. And we won several championships. And again, I don't understand this as being a gift. It's just something that I get a lot of joy and pleasure and fun out of. And it's keeping me focused on those grades that I didn't appreciate, keeping me in class. I didn't appreciate that, but I needed those things to play basketball. And so I did. My coaches also told me to expand. You need to become more conditioned. You need to challenge yourself a little bit more. So they made me run cross country. You can't make kids do things like that now, but they made me run cross country, which I hated, but I was even good at that. And then I had to also run track. I was excellent at track, but I was a little bit lazy. And so I chose, I had a ticket through the athleticism that God gave me, a ticket to go to college free. A ticket. Not because of my dad was rich or my mom was rich or I was the smartest or I was the most intelligent or I was the most articulate. It was an athletic gift that God gave me from the womb that opened up yet another door for me to get an education that I didn't even learn to appreciate until I was almost done with it. I was going to play basketball. Isn't that an amazing gift that can fund an entire 4-year education, lay the foundation for the rest of your life for your occupation? That's a gift that got the books for free, my meal plan for free, my dorm for free. And that's an athletic gift that a coach tapped into and I was identified. And you say, well, there are plenty of people who go to school and they go on athletic scholarships and then athletes can be coached. And that is true. You're absolutely right. However, there are many branches that have been birthed out of that gift, including the fact that when I gained 30 pounds coming out of college playing basketball because, again, I was lacking in spirituality. I was lacking in the knowledge of who I was in God, and I was exhausted after I finished college. I gained 30 pounds and could not lose it. And I thought that was a very desolate place, but it wasn't. It was a place of destiny. By me gaining 30 pounds, I had to try to figure out how to lose it, and I wasn't an athlete anymore. I didn't have the luxury of practicing 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening to lose that weight and stay in shape just because of what I did. I had to figure out a lot about myself. And so I got into fitness and I wasn't good at first. I couldn't even I couldn't do any of the steps on step aerobics. And so I quit. I was like, let me go get on the treadmill, but that didn't help me lose any weight. one of my friends, and this is why you are so important to the people around you, and it's so important that you get outside of yourself and look at other people and see in them the things that they probably will see in you and who you walk around. One of my friends came to that treadmill. She said, JoAnna, you really need to come back to the aerobics class. You're going to get what you need out of it, and it's going to be good. And, you know, just from that invitation, I stopped the treadmill, I got off, and I went into that aerobics room. They were having such a good time, and I still just wasn't good at stepping. But I had made up my mind that I'm going to stay, I'm going to learn, I'm going to be coached. And I enjoyed it so much that I lost 20 pounds. And then I started teaching, and I lost the other 10. And I became so good at that thing that I failed at initially that I started showing other people how to lose weight long before I knew I was going to be good at it and I was going to own a business. And so I just want you to see the branches that your gift has. It can start off small. Jesus told Peter, now that you've made a great catch in fish as a fisherman, they never fished after that. They became fishers of men. And your gift has a branch on it, a bunch of branches that can build not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. Because it didn't just stop there. And I was actually content with being a school guidance counselor, working in the school system, using my degrees, and teaching fitness classes to stay in shape and for financial benefit and to help people. But apparently that wasn't good enough for God. You see, the other part about your gifts is that God wants to get glory out of your gifts. And when you don't use them, and Jesus gives us a parable of 3 different people who one had 1 gift, one had 5, and the other had 10. The one that had the 1 gift buried it, didn't use it, was intimidated by people's opinion of it, what people may think of it, buried it because they thought that the owner was a hard man and would give them a hard time. So all they wanted to do is keep the gift and give it back to the owner. The one with 5 multiplied their gifts. The one with 10 multiplied their gifts. And the owner was very proud of those that multiplied and used their gifts and actually took the gift from the one and gave it to the one with 10. And you would say, like most people do, well, why give it to the one with 10 if he already had 10? Because stewardship. And sometimes you are sitting on your gift. There are a lot of gifts in you, things that you naturally would do without anyone telling you to do, things that come easy to you, things that are peaceable to you, things that actually make sense to everything about you. And so I want to challenge you to that's fine to be professionally accurate at whatever it is that you do. It's great that I have those degrees. I thank God for those. But the things that God has opened into me, my book, Surviving the Fitness Game, they never came and said, well, JoAnna, show us your resume. No, they looked at who I was and what I was doing and how I was operating and the difference it was making. And Bridge Logos said, we want you to write a book. When it comes to even being on the move with JoAnna Ward, I have no television background. I don't have a father or mother that was in TV. I've just simply used what God has given me for his glory, for the edification of the body of Christ, the finding of the lost, for anyone that I can help along the way, oftentimes for free. And then these things have come to me. You probably are saying, well, I don't really know what my gift is. And that's okay. That's why we're having this talk. All you have to do is ask God to show you and be prepared for what he shows you. And don't underestimate the power of the simple things, the power of those simple steps, the power of the thing that you probably don't even appreciate. Do you know that George Washington Carver simply asked God to unlock the mysteries of the peanut? The peanut. And this made this man's name go down in history, something that simple. You're special. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. And yes, it's flattering to have people say, hey, I want hair like yours. I want to look like you. I want to be fit like you. And that's okay. Great that I can motivate you, but I can't be you. Only you can do that. Everybody else is taken. Everybody else's skin is already preoccupied. Your stature, from the height that you have, the size of your legs, the spread of your hips, the size of your waist, your fingernails, the texture, everything, the hue of your skin was made on a potter's wheel. And you were but clay, and God began to take that lump that lay there and fashion it very slowly and gently, because he knows more about what he's doing for you and why he created you than even you do. Which also brings me to another arm in the branch of my fitness, Fit for Duty. This program was created by a full bird colonel named Thomas Hutley. And Thomas has had the ability, by the grace of God, to not just rank up in his ability in the United States military, but he has had the ability to see people beyond what their resume says. He's been able to see the greatness that God has put into certain people, and he's created a collective group of professionals that go around the country training people how to be resilient, how to get through life's issues spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and all other ways that we should thrive. So we go throughout the country, and that's how I became a part of this program. I never submitted a resume. I just did what I was supposed to do. I showed up to where I was supposed to show up, and I stewarded over what God gave me. And so I challenge you to do the same. You have some amazing gifts that are inside of you, and you've settled because you need to make money. You've settled because you need people to see you a certain way, but God knows what he wants to do with you as his clay. No one else can do it, not even you. The Bible says, how can the clay tell the potter what to do? How are you going to tell God what to do with your life? In Jeremiah 29:11, God says, I know the plans that I have for you. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Before I brought you out of your mother's womb, I knew the plan that I had for you. Isn't it good to know that God still has a plan for your life? Every moment that you're on this earth and you're breathing, you know what that says to you and it says to me? There's still a plan in place for your life. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be here. So I challenge you, if you don't know what your gifts are, ask God and trust what he shows you. It doesn't matter. Romans 8:31 says if God is for you, it doesn't matter who's against you. All along, it was only a few people who pushed me into my purpose. It doesn't matter who wasn't for me. So think about that. Align yourself up with people who see the good in you, the God in you, and go to God about your gifts. And I promise you, he got your back. Write me and let me know if you've stirred up your gifts in the name of Jesus. You've been on The Move with JoAnna Ward. I hope you enjoyed that talk between me and you.